Alright, now for something a little bit different I'm going to try. I'm going to use a couple tools, and there is a WordPress 5.1 for Xenix that's been put up at WinWorld PC. I don't feel like installing Xenix, and I already got installed Caldera, and this supposed to have Xenix binary compatibility. There's a couple tricks. We can try, and some tools that we can use to ensure ourselves that we're getting all of the data that we would like out of these disks, to make sure we have all the files we can actually do and install. So this is going to be very hard. This is on Xenix formatted floppy disks. And although Linux, I have the driver loaded to be able to mount these floppies, suffice to say they will not mount. So how are we going to get files off these little disk images? And I'll show you where they are. I've already started the process, and I think I have a way figured out to do this. It's kind of crazy, but not too crazy actually. So where is alright, so we have a couple tools we could actually use. It's going to seem a little strange. What is going on here? Oh, right, over here. Alright, so we have a tool called strings. We have hex editors, and we have something called CPIO. Now, in general, we're able to get some stuff off of. This was parts of this information I got. Part of the answer from looking at, there's a discussion on it on super users, so I got part of it. And you can do a lot of the work using CPIO with this stuff. I'm going to start out with that. And what I'm going to end up doing is putting each one of these directories their own little disk image. And I've just started the process. I've already gone through some of it, and I thought I should probably share this. So, you got a hard disk that's formatted in some way. You cannot access it. Okay, but you have the CPIO. You have a hex editor. And you have strings. So we're going to see how well this goes. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get as much as I can out of these disks using CPIO. CPIO does not work perfectly, but it does pretty good. And there's a standard go-to command you can do. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to concatenate the contents of this file, redirect it to CPIO, and pass it the IMDV pattern. Now, Xenix block size, I read somewhere, is supposed to be 1024 bytes, and you can set the block size option with CPIO, but I'm not seeing that to make a difference. So I'm going to let CPIO shine on its own. And I actually want to have it working. I want to see if I can get this working. I think I have a chance. I'll go and do this 8th one, because I've already done 7 of them. Alright. Oh, first thing I'm going to do is I've already let's just look at the modules. I've already mod probed L, and this has nothing to do with my success or non-success. LS mod, I think it's S, it's printed that way. The driver is called, I think it's SVR, or SYSV. Boy, I got a lot of modules. So I want to just, there it is at the top. This SYSV is supposed to be able to mount floppies. Now I tried to mount this with the loop device. I've tried this before, but only root can do that, which is a pain in the butt. But anyway, it just says, sorry. And there's also the file command, which I might as well Or just do history. Why don't you do that? Alright, here's my loop. Here we go. So, it basically says you can do type T Xenix, right? I guess I'll do it for a second just to show it isn't working. Take the mount device. Yeah, what the hell is in this thing? Something. I'm just showing what's not going to work. Not that that's all that exciting. Unknown file system type. Okay, well, let's go with the SYSV. Bad thing. Bad super block, whatever. Now, on some of them, I at least got a response or something. This is neither E. But it's not working. So, we're going to find a bunch of stuff about this. And the first thing I'm going to do is, let's clear this. I'm going to do a command called file. See what we're working with. For example, up at WinWord it says that there are Microsoft Word for I think it's SCO Unix up there, but when you actually touch the files, they're tar files. And I'll show you that. So this says it's a formatted floppy with no file system, which is okay. We'll find out. It sounds scary, but a file system is basically an index of where you find stuff, and it actually does have a file system, and we'll be able to tell that. It's basically a pattern. But just for our curiosity, let's go to, I don't even know if I have that. I think it's called Word. Yeah, in there, ls. Let's do file, disk, 01, image. This is it's a tar archive. It's not a disk image. So if you try to plop that in some virtual PC, not going to work. Right, now these are the ones I downloaded from, WinWorld PC. So actually, I don't think SCO Unix floppy images are actually tar archives. And basically, after I extracted everything, the contents of this C directory showed up. So file will give you first clues to what the hell you're dealing with. But in this case, it's telling us we got a floppy disk image. We're not going to be lucky like that. Let's try CPIO. Now, one thing we're going to notice is this thing is 1.4 megabytes. In fact, the exact number of bytes, 1478656. And if I knew for sure that was the right number for Xenix floppies. Alright, so, and how file determines that, I don't know. I haven't seen the source code of file, and if I saw it, I wouldn't understand it. Now let's try just concatenating. Let's just take the contents of that file and spit it out on the screen. What does it tell us? Seems kind of crazy, but these are the actual binary contents, and just quit the console at that point, because actually it barfs. Alright, so let's go back here. So there's stuff in there. Couldn't see it that well. Better way to do it. Let's see, 8. Right. Okay. The better way to do it is to use something called a hex editor. I'm going to use KD3s because I'm just such a gooey weenie. And okay, so let's take a look at this. Well, what do we got here? We got a bunch of whatever that I construe to be the beginning. And then we got, what is that? W1, okay, so I've noticed in the past, just to let you know. So here, a lot of when I'm familiar with WordPerfect's, the way they package stuff before you install it, and they'll usually use an underscore letter directory, and they'll have names somewhat like that. Okay. So it looks like there should be, when I'm done with CPIO, I should have a file called wp.drs in a w1 directory. And then it goes, and then we should have a cvt51.list in that w1 directory as well. This is what we should have, and I may have skipped over some. I mean, the hex editor goes rather quickly. Okay, WP user list. There's another file. This is all binary format that's designed that would execute in Xenix, and basically what this image file really is a bunch of files plonked, just the pure binary that would be on the floppy image itself. Okay, let's just run CPIO and see what it does for us here. And I think it's 8. And why did I close that? Or, yeah, I closed the terminal, didn't I? Not what I wanted. CPIO, no, cat. We're just gonna, and then we're gonna redirect it, and we're gonna, first of all, we gotta say we're gonna concatenate. You can concatenate a text file to the printer, and it'll print the file. That's a good way to think of it. In this, we're gonna concatenate to a program that decompresses stuff called CPIO. And we're going to use IMDV, which I don't even really, I think I means uncompress. And also, I am going to do double thing block size. If I think, well, we'll do that later. You can do double block size, and then 512 is the default. You can go 1024. You try cutting it in half. And basically, if you know what block sizes are being used in the file system, it should work. If 512 doesn't work. 512 seems to work. And it always says there's skipped 18432 bytes of junk, and that's the stuff at the end, and I bet you at the beginning it's going to say something similar. Let's look at that. We only have one file. We don't have 3. Okay. It's deceptive because it says 1.4 megabytes. Those other files were small. So what are we going to do to get that out of there? Are we just screwed? No, because we have hex editor. Don't we? Yeah, we do. Okay. So we remember what those open with. Let's see, khex edit. At least I think we're not. Yeah, we'll find out whether this stuff amounts to anything. So there's something called WPDRS, and we got that, and that's the bulk of this whole thing. We got to pay attention to. And what strings will do for us actually is remove all the junk and just display the ASCII that's in there. And one of the things that will be in there will be these names that come up. And there may even be a pattern. The numbers may be the same. Basically, the numbers after the name of the file will constitute what the file system is trying to relate. Okay, we just passed one there. And you don't know. The only way I'm going to know I got everything out here is WS spell. Okay, it's just going to be called WS spell. We get a 100.01. We get these numbers here, and we got some stuff around it. So we're going to call this WS spell. And we're just going to get this blob until we get to the pattern where it's got the name of the next file. In the area where it's got a bunch of dots, that is, I believe, is going to be empty space. And this could take a long time, especially if there's a ton of files on here the CPU can't get out. So CPIO seems to get the biggest file out, but not everything. And then we got to wonder whether it's getting everything, but we'll soon find that out. If we do the hex editor for everything, we're going to get everything out because we're going to make a new file. We're going to dump. When you try to open up a executable with a text editor, it'll say you can't save this. This is in binary format. A hex editor is designed to save stuff in binary format, and we're going to take advantage of that. We are going to make the file that I've now forgotten the name of. I think it's in fact, I'll just call it 1 for now. And there is a lot of information even on the old-fashioned floppy disks. All right. Now, what I don't know is whether I'm okay just ending this thing right here. I think that's what I got to do. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to make a new one. I'm going to paste it. And I'm going to save this thing as, and the pain in the butt about this, I got to keep going back. This is in disk number 8. Frick, man, I forgot what this thing is called. I'm going to call this thing 1-1. If I had the advantage of being able to rewind. But I won't. Okay, so go back to this pro image. Okay, so let's go up for a while here. I know the last one's going to be WP user list, but this one... And we actually we can count out by concatenating. Strings will help us. Strings will get rid of all this binary crap. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna do strings on this son of a bitch. Alright, let's go up here. I don't need that. Where's my good one? Alright, and actually going to redirect that. I paid good money for this program. Alright, so you see that this is just the ASCII. So we got WPTR. Okay, there is the 444. Let's see if I find a... actually, I'm going to look for... I'm going to look for that. Then name the next file. Fine. That's what that was. WP spell. Thank you very much. All right. Who's next? Yeah, WP user list. Can't make a text file. So I'm gonna call this thing not a folder. WP USR LSG dot text. So I remember what the hell I'm doing. You know what I mean? Let's go to the next one. Let's do this one. Hello. Oh, it's a hidden file. There it is. And next, and that should be it. So let's go back to our hex editor. So I need to mine out 2 more files. And I think I just screwed that thing up. So this is just my history. That's my string shell, which is fine. This is my whatever it is. Okay. Easy. K hex edit. It'd be something. All right. So we're looking for. Let's find it. WP. What the hell? Regular text. WPUS. Thank you. All right. And that's going to start right here, where the magic tag is saying we're Perfect Corporation. I'm thinking we need to just stop right here. Oh, great. Let's go in there. Bada bing. Thank you. All right, so let's keep going. All right, we're looking for a dot CVT. What? That's because this is my new thing, so I gotta close this. Close there. Okay, there we are. And there it is. So it's gonna start right here and go to the end. We don't want to get the big blocks. We just want to go to where there's stuff. It doesn't need to have a bunch of empty. I don't think it needs to have a bunch of empty stuff. I think that's just empty space, but we'll find out. All right. I like that method. That works pretty good. All this stuff should be able to fit on the capacity of the hard disk. We can get rid of these 2 text files. All right, so I've done this for 8. So now if I could build up to having all the files, I'm in good shape. I'm liking this. I think this is going to go pretty good. All right. So let's check out. All right, so I think I got everything out of this 8, which is Pro 1. Let's look at 7. Run strings on 7. has to do strings, whatever. Strings, WP, they're all the same thing. I'm going to redirect the output to, it's called strings, what the hell, I'm an independent area. And there you are, and let's take a look. And again, we're going to notice our pattern, and now we're looking for the _P for files. First of all, we're going to see if we got everything. So there's 3 there. I've done CPIO and all this, so let's do that. So, yeah, PHP comp. Now, I don't know if this is like the number of bytes supposed to be here. Anyway. You know, so it starts with the 444 would be, I guess, the first file. Let's look for the next one. Yeah, I got to, okay. Aha. So we're looking for a WPLA, okay. All right. I don't have that one. I am in the same directory, right? This one looks like this is going to be a pain in the butt. And until I get all this stuff out, yeah. Oh my god. There's probably going to be a ton of these. But if you want something bad enough, you can do it. All right. Yeah, I could probably just look for a 444 now that I realize that. Eventually, I am going to have the full fucking thing. Ooh. Now that's probably a coincidence. Now that. Oh, well, they're squished. WP, okay, so P1. Okay, dokie. I need to go backwards. So there's going to be a P1 directory now. I've never done this before, so. No, this is WPDM8 in the just the P directory. There's a lot of files in this thing. Okay, let's do it this way. Damn. I could be here for a while. I'm just doing this to remind myself what the names are. Okay, this is going to go under that directory. Now, if the disks were damaged, there's nothing I could do about that. We're gonna be in some weird shit. This one looks like this is gonna be a freaking pain in the butt. A lot better off if these weren't on Xenix formatted floppies, but okay. What about the rest of the junk? I just happen to know how this is supposed to come out. That one's going to be a busy one, man. Plus, I gotta check all these things that I make, make sure I don't have any. You know what? This WPDM is gonna go all the way up to 24. Holy crap. So CPIO does not do very much. And it may be that this CMP has nothing to do with that. It doesn't need to be there. I'll do that when I look at the hex editor. So I already got 24 out of there, so. I bet this was CMP. I bet you I made that. That's hold on. In fact, that's more than one thing. That's trailer. Okay. And there's header. WP. Okay, so dir.wp. Wow. Whoa, I think this one's damaged. It might be. Okay, now that's all it's got. This is called dir list p. dir.listp under I. I'm gonna have to check that one. For WP. That doesn't make any sense. This information up there, those numbers, that's just file system information. Trailer.wp. This is the header. God knows what the hell we're doing here. Okay, this is alright. What was that? Let's take a breather here for a second. Where the fuck are we at? I just went off. Okay, I think we're in this area. Basically, WPDM. There's fucking 20. I was mining WPDM 25. Let's look for the next one. could easily fuck this up. There's 24. There's header. There's trailer. There's the PHP. Alright, so I haven't mined all those out of there. Okay, wow. Fuck. That's too much for CPIO. Making life nice for me. So 7, we got some work to do. Start with number 1. How about that? And this is just duplicate. I also, you can redirect the output from something you concatenate back right to what it was before. Alright. CPIO so far has come up with WPAA. That's come on now. All right. Screens. Let's call it strings. Redirect the output from what it read. Watch if I just do it without redirecting it. Bunch of shit comes on the screen. Same thing goes here. Alright. WPAA, I've got that. I'm gonna look for this dip. Actually, you know what? If I was just looking for that stuff, that that might not be foolproof. I should be looking for the underscore. Oh, it's going to go on for a while. Go back. Actually, look for underscore W. No, it's not. You can tell because it's the name of a file in a directory. And it could be this is just one file. Nope. WP graph. I haven't made those things. I realize those are just placeholders. I haven't. You saw me mine something out before, but this is not mining anything out. This is just getting names of the files in an easy way because the hex editor is a little bit unwieldy, shall we say. Now, it could be that I'm also unzipping shit, but we'll find out at the same time. And this should be in the 1_W1. And it should be text. What? Okay, what did I get wrong here? I remerged it twice. Okay. WPAC. I still may not get everything out of here. Labels. Now, I also got a way to cheat because I have the same version of WordPerfect for Unix, just not for Xenix or a close one. Like I got 5.2, and some of these files might be around and of the same type, and I could see whether. Let's use one. I'm reading strings. F3. Codes. Shortcut. You gotta really want this shit. There's no other versions in the world. I have to hand rebuild this. Trust me, if this box of shit on eBay, I wouldn't be doing this. Now, if I was better at grep and stuff like that, probably could have redirected the output. Or I can do some. I probably could do some. If I looked it up, I could probably do some text processing to look for lines that have an underscore and a slash in it and preserve that line. But that could take half an hour research. I don't know if I really want to do that right now. But it might be necessary. It might be necessary because I'm the way I'm searching here. There's a lot of stuff in here. And it'd be better to have a clean list of this. I think this that's a duplicate. There's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot. I looked at the one. I looked at this 1.4. I thought, oh, I got it all. Now it could be that. No, it's not that way. I was gonna say it could be that this WPAA. There's gonna be other files like WPAB, WPAC. And you have to concatenate those together to form just a file called WP. And guess what? And they have to make it executable. And guess what? You have your... and one of these files actually... And why did I do it that way? One of these files is going to be a list of all the files that I'm going to need eventually. And I will get that. Oh, yes, I will. So basically, it's like I'm able to run a hex editor on a floppy drive. That's what's so cool about it being a file rather than a physical thing. You can't run a hex editor on a floppy drive, but in this case, you can. If I get this If I get this to work, I'll send Caldera a check and I'll register. Send them a check for whatever their price was. Caldera, is it? Corel. I'm not paying too good attention to, but see, now I know I'm going to have a list. So I'll end up moving stuff. Well, it's going to have, what it has is a list of, somewhere in here, of all the files you're supposed to get. This is looking right. I was thinking CPU IO is not cutting it. Alright, so this is what? I still haven't even done my first extraction attempt. So that's disk number 1. Disk number 2. You don't have to do that. Linux can tell what kind of file it is without having an extension, but I still like to have some discipline with all this thing. Okay. There's the WP graph LA. We already got that conceivably. There's the, and let's look at this with a hex editor. I don't know if we got all that stuff. I think those are fucked. We will check those out in this font thing. Okay. Where am I at in this thing? This thing doesn't seem like it's too big. And I'm getting the idea this disk was damaged. The one they have there on up at Winworld. Let's look this stuff over. All right. That's not very efficient use of a floppy drive. You got it, is IA in here. Okay. Don't have right permission. Yeah, I do. Steven, give yourself permission, but whatever. Yeah. Bye-bye. And I close the text editor like a dumbass. Alright, one's just got a UNVL on it. Disks is 2. Oh, come on. Of course I have right permission. I just gave myself fucking right permission. Alright. There's gotta be more surprises in here. Here's font. Actually, since CPIO extracted, let's take a look at this. It's got more than just font in there, man. Didn't do a very clean job, did it? Oh. This is the inline part. We can think from right around here. That's the font. That's the fucking image. Alright. Damn, it's got permissions too. Now, either all this stuff is sign of a damaged disk. I don't know. I haven't finished off one, but so this seems like now. But again, if they didn't use the whole disk, they didn't use the whole disk. There's only 2 of them of this name. Yeah. Alright, language. This is going to be a long fucking journey. Arch help USGG. Yeah, that's okay. We got that one already. Those numbers I can't really predict. I wish I knew more about the file system. I think that's all we got. All right. And this disk. 1459 200. Gee, that helps me. Let's go over this again. Even if you have a disk that is unreadable, you stick the disk in and it's just not being recognized. You could use DD to redirect the output of that file system into a file like this, and you'll be in this position. That is to mine stuff out of your floppies. I have no idea how many. There's maybe a handful of Xenix installations that are still working in the world. There's USGH. I don't know if that's really right. Let's try this. I wonder if that's positioned in such a way that that will be my guide. I'm gonna look and see. See how that's right there. I could search for that. Okay. WP51, okay. WP.unml.exec.text. Is that what we got? Right, now I'm going to see whether this method's going to work a little better. It'll look for the empty space. Yeah, okay. See, now finding them all, that's good. This is what I want to have some assurance I got everything. That. In fact, I'm going to, and I got to pay attention to what directory those are all in. Underscore L. Nope. That's what I'm looking for right there. Sure. Alright, all underscore L's. Alright, we're going to check out 3. Just we're going to certify we got all the names of the files. You know what I mean? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Alright. Actually, that's good enough. Alright. And Arch help. I conclude there was nothing else on here, but let's, yeah, okay, we're done. That one's extracted. 2. Same deal, but I'm just going to make sure. Now, after all this is going to end up being a trial version. That only lasts for 15 days unless you put your code in. So right, so I already got that one, so why do I have this here? I've got all those, so 2's done. I'll check out 1. So I'll have that stuff. Bam, okay. And show WPA at least, there it is. W1, right. Okay, I don't know if I really, I'll still have that list, but might as well try my best to Paratata, right? Periscope, right? WPAC, right? Labels, yeah, right? Macros, WPK. Codes. Shortcuts. Freaking pain in the ass. Pleading, yeah. Reveal code, yeah. Replace, yeah. Postnet, yes. Calc, yes. Edit, yes. VLIC, right. Infoot, right. Front end. Sorry, foot end. Enhance equation. So I happen to get kind of lucky getting all these things because they kind of pack them with the same directories. But anyway, WP graph HTTP, right? Because they actually packed. So they have, this is 5.1 for SCO too. It's not just for Xenix. Wow. It's for Unix, and the guy's calling it for, this is for the whole thing. Yeah, right. Okay, so that is done. Why would they, you know, eventually in there's a message to people that use HTTP. So I haven't mined out 1 yet. I've been to 4. All right. let's do our strings on 5. Strings, they're all named WordPerfect. Come on. WP, hit the tab key and redirect output strings. Alright. Also, just so you know, a file system is basically, even if you get rid of it, this is a situation where there is no, there's no file system. There is no file system in place. Yet we're able to get stuff back. And the reason why, well, there's somewhat of a file system. I mean, we can look and we can see that there's a pattern to the way the stuff appears. Now, the only thing I don't know is whether I'm getting this stuff correctly. I think those dots are empty space. I'm pretty sure they are. Okay, khex edit. What this means is when you format your drive, what happens when you format your drive, there's an index that is deleted. Maybe the names that are there. See, when I open this up, there'll be, eventually, now, am I even moving? Right here. See that name, L? Okay, that may be what constitutes the file system, the fact that there's the name of the file and it is trailed by a bunch of characters and then some numbers. That's what makes the file system. You know, Linux doesn't have right now the driver isn't working to be able to recognize this stuff. Why? I don't know. What would happen if you formatted your drive, these markers here would be gone, but guess what would still remain? These chunks. In fact, I'm not even sure if that's true. I think in most file systems, in the area that has all these little boxes here, there'll be an index, and it will say, it'll have a list of all the files, and it will say what position on the hard disk it's at, perhaps. For a very basic file system. That index, when you format the hard drive, that index is deleted, but all this stuff still remains. These may have been Xenix disks that were formatted. But you have to write zeros to the disk to actually get rid of data, is the thing. Okay, so let's see, WP, THS, and I gotta look at the strings, but that is there, and let's look at the strings. And we're gonna use our method from before. That thing, so we at least have the name of what we want to get. We have an object that maybe CPU-IO has extracted correctly. So CPU is kind of able to deal with the file system, but I think it just, CPU-IO does is it just goes, all right, well, this is nothing. Let's just chop it off here and give you the rest. I think it just gets the basic stuff out, but you still have to do stuff. All right, wait, it's just like that. And so thank God for ASCII that we could mine this stuff out. Or go 0. Is there anything else on this hard disk? And there is. So CPIO. So this thing has that in it, I betcha. So you gotta be very careful that actually using CPIO is kind of dangerous actually in this case because it has stuff combined. Now in some cases where the files are actually meant to be concatenated together, WPAA, WPAB, WPAC, you push the streams of these things all into one file with concatenation, and rename it to WP, which is the executable, which is the way for all the other versions of WordPerfect I've come across works. That happens during the install process in the background. You'd be all right. It just would come out with the wrong name. But that's only if those three, and only those three in this example, were located on that floppy disk, those 3 files. Alright, so... And let's look for some more. Wait. I did search for this, right? And find next. Right. And next. Yeah. Just give me a lot more here. So this, now, one thing that CPIO will tell me is just how much of that disk is actually data. Now I realize that. So if CPIO only spit out one thing to start with, and there's a bunch of files in there, you gotta split it up, you know. And you still gotta use the hex editor. Whether you're hex editing it just isn't gonna have the junk at the beginning. All these rectangles. So this I know is this WPTHS US has not been extracted properly. And I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for that. See, it's looking for those spaces. And we'll prove that out. We will prove that out. Yes, indeed, we will. And wow. It's just the code was a lot smaller in the olden days, you know. Yeah. Now this here is a text version. Oh no, it isn't. Well, it is the user manual, but I think it's only readable with WordPerfect. GUI means graphic user interface. Not bad. This is probably going to take a span of a long, long time. And sometimes, and when we're in the WordPerfect install process, sometimes the names of the files are changed. And would I have been ready to do this had I not gone through the pain of manually installing WordPerfect 7? No, I would not. This also tells you, by the way, that this is the list. This is the list right here. This okay. This is the this is the contents of the list. So it's going to be called Perms list. Is that the last one I made? This is the one I was talking about. This is the original name of the file. And that's where it goes. I don't know why it's saying 111, but basically this XWP install goes in SH bin. XWP, those three actually, during the install, it's going to get placed in WP bin, and then it's going to be concatenated. Those three are going to be concatenated together, and there'll be a fourth file as a result that consists of all three of them and renamed to XWP, and then those three will be deleted. I could predict that. Alright, so alright. I think I got that right. Yeah. So if any of these that have like names are like sequential, like if there's a WPTXT ABCDE and F, that doesn't really work that way. Yeah, that wouldn't be that. It's just the XWPAA, XWPAB, AC. That's the one that you wanna. Yeah. Well, if the Crawl folks want to know, we're really jonesing for their word perfect. All right. I mean, I wonder what they'd do if someone called and said, "Hey, I want to buy your shit." All right. Yeah, go. Let's give me some ton of these fucking things. And these TXTs I'm just keeping as name to remind what the names are going to be, because the length of the hex can go for a while. But I know that actually in this thing, all those things exist. Now I wonder what would happen if I tried to run CPIO on this thing. Make it use a dog's wishbone. I wonder if we would be able to tell. I mean, we'd be able to tell there's empty space, right? Tool text. If that were the case, I'm wasting my time. And here he is. And what we're going to do, since this is a BMP file, and that's going to be a graphic, we're going to make sure we're getting these things out right. We're going to use that as our example. Oh, fucking long I've been going on here, man. Okay. And yeah, this is starting to look like, you know. Damn, I can even score an icon out of this. Alright, what the fuck did I just do? Now, I've never run a Xenix program under this thing. And the other, it's going to be different because it will actually be I might have to do LD load path. I don't know. I don't know how it reads the libraries. Are we almost fucking done? And if I want to be goofy, I could put like some. Nope. These are all, 2-byte files or whatever. I could change like the names of like warnings that come up. Kernel test. That's Yeah, so that thesaurus ain't gonna run too well if it's got diction. I'm really interested to get that. Those I want to get the graphics out of this thing. And then I'll stop. I'll make another part because this is gonna take a long fucking time. No, this is like the challenge. I don't know. I'll have some guidance as to whether I need to keep that empty space or not. Or if there's a certain amount that's always there or what. Jeez. The help files, you have to use a program from WordPerfect also just to read it. This would be the text for the executext help files. My God, are we almost done, or 10 more of these to go? Now, since it's a binary, you can't really. Like if I change the words to some of this stuff, like file explode instead of file save or something. I could actually make it. Probably even not probably, there's a chance I can even make it safer for Linux and the latest kernel versions. Like what? Yeah, and this list right here. That's actually the more important one, and that goes in L. Sorry. I read one thing and I say something else. That is really awesome. And that will be very important for me to have. This is hidden file. Now, one would think there'd be a way to do this in some kind of automated fashion, but it's all L directory, right? Ooh. Put it in the wrong place. What the size list is going to tell. I'm going to get that out. Okay. Look at all the stuff I have extracted. Right. L, okay. looks like a folder called. It's a bit strange. Now, they may have made this a little more difficult. It looks like they might have split up their list. I hope that's the last one. It's not. For administration menu. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, I was thinking this. The number of files coming out of CPIO is a bit sparse. And okay. So let's look for the logo. We're looking for C logo. We're gonna test this out. We're also gonna get those lists. This perms list. I'm gonna look for this. Find list. I don't think that goes there. Yeah, it goes in I. For install. Thank you. Alright, so we're going to get these. I think this ling US doesn't go there. Let's see. Alright, yes it does. Okay, so we're going to open it up and we're also going to get those logos. But let's get the perms list. And this is 3. Right. Let's get the perms list. Let's find the perms. I'm gonna get all this stuff. Oh, it actually is in that other one, but I'll just do it anyway. Okay. Perms. There's an M, right? Compact. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go right to there. But we'll know when we do the. Okay. So this. Okay. Right. I'm going to copy this. Edit. Copy file. New. Edit. Paste. This son of a bitch. And we're going to call this thing. That. And we're going to save that under what the hell? Where the fuck am I? 5? I. Wow. Whoa. Previewing K-man part? Nah, fuck it. You that is, I think is, okay, let's get the logo, because I'm, yeah, file close. And I gotta make sure I fix. If I don't remember to fix the one that isn't writing, which I know is the big one. This thesaurus has got a bunch of shit in it. I don't even need to have actually this thing open. I wonder why. You know what? I'm gonna go into, where am I? CD underscore L. I'm gonna see CPIO. IMDV, and then what is this thing? This is called this WPTHS. US. How does CPIO work? Maybe I'll just do like an, okay, cat WPTHUS IMDV DV minus IMDV. CPIO minus MDV. Now what happened? Did something come out? Or just it can't deal with it? Okay, so it's not able to differentiate between spaces, but you know what, let's just get this logo. What's the name of this logo? That's clogo.bmp. Okay, let's do, no, it's because that's a part of the list. We're learning stuff about files today too. Okay. Bam. And I'm going to test my theory because so far it's unproven. Copy. Okay. File new. Edit and paste. Save, and we put this sucker in. It's going to be what disk it says 5L. And it was called what? Clogo.bump. Bogus header data. That'd be a bit weird, but okay. I'm gonna look and see something. I could be really. know if we have any of these things. Where the hell would that be? It may even tell me how big these files are supposed to be, but I don't remember having any kind of. Starts with that shit. There's no empty space. I wish I had another BMP. Up. Not mailing shit. R minus I include pretty much that. I went BMP, okay. I'm not looking for anything. Alright, I'll do it case insensitive. Alright, let's look at this thing. Perfect 8, there we go. Let's look at what the tuba looks like and see if we got this thing fucking right. Where are we? One of these, let's take a look at this. Alright, now what the fuck's it doing here? It's got, there's the BM. sometimes they don't keep stuff. Where the fuck are you? No, these are all coming. I see that. I think they tagged these wrong. Let's get this stuff here. Chop that out. What's this? All right. BM, there's nothing there. Yeah, it's compressed. That is compressed. Oh my god. That's a truck. There's a car. Work. It seems to know what the fuck. Alright, I'm gonna get these lists. Ain't supposed to work. Okay, let's get this list. I'm gonna quit for now. Damn, it recognizes it's a trough. directory list. These are the two that I want. There's something called the Android word processor that used to be able to handle text documents, trough documents. Okay, minus A. Okay, let's look at this. Perms. Hang on, let's close that one. Let's see. It's trough minus A perms. Okay, well, we're going to redirect that to I like the way that looks. That works. Fuck. Alright, so and see how it says what the size of these files should be. ZZZ, what the hell? This 444 should be the permission on the file. So it's saying that the file called there should be a file called def.lang. It should end up in the WP lib directory with permissions of 444. I have no fucking idea what D, W, and OW is. But it may have something to do with the trough formatting. Because they're trough geeks. I wonder if I'm printing with So there are 895. That should be the permissions. XWP should be in WP bin. Those aren't. That's not going to be anything important. I'm disappointed about that logo, but alright, I'm stopped for now, but this is I think this was pretty interesting.